Sound design to me is the creative side of like designing a soundtrack, designing a soundscape for a film.
In here we've got 5.1 surround sound, which is a new thing that they've just brought into these new suites.
I spent the last 3 years specialising in what I wanted to do, and that's helped me a lot. But Pro Tools and knowing the plugins and the effects and how it all works it's helped me tenfold. Pro Tools is fantastic. It's just the industry standard and the best thing available to do it with.
It's just quite good to have your own room with 5.1 speakers and to have huge clarity in terms of sound.
I am in the recording studio at the moment at Tremo, in the media centre. We're just recording my sound for my third year practical project.
I'd say it's primarily set up for video because the mixing console was designed to work with Avid and things, so it's primarily designed so that you can put really high quality 5.1 audio into like video projects. So you've got plenty of faders and it's very fast, and you can work with embedded or video in Pro Tools, so you can kind of open up your session and just kind of edit away in there and then export it straight into Avid with full compatibility and all the fades and all the rest. To be able to come in and actually just use a full-size kind of mixer with decent monitor speakers and acoustically treated room is quite nice. The setup's a Pro Tools setup, which is kind of universal. You find it in most recording studios, and it's they've just upgraded all of the preamps to external preamps, so they're a little bit nicer sounding than they were.
The teaching of Pro Tools is brilliant here. You get an opportunity in the first year from day one to do a bit of Pro Tools work, and then it's just up to you about how far you want to take it.
Yeah, I feel it is like a separate department. So yeah, it's kind of like a production house where you can have your sound designer in here while your editor's in another room and your director darting between.
This is one of 3 radio rooms that we now have. The one we're in at the minute is part of the new Phase 2 build, so it's only just been opened within the last kind of 6 months. You can do lots of things in here. You can edit from here if you were kind of working on material for like showpieces or anything like that. You can also receive telephone interviews in here as well. You can have people ringing through and using the phones and editing them with radio packages as well. Any course from broadcast journalism to broadcasting or English with media can come in and use it, so it's open to any student like that who wants to just come and practice. And also if you wanted to come and practice and just use the desk, it's good for doing that. It's all networked, so basically you can use it over the internet, so it's handy for that, and the same with like incoming as well, so you can have live streaming going into the desk, which is really handy.
I do a lot of recording with artists and musicians, and all of the plugins that you get over this sort of side of the screen used to just make things sound good really. And this one here is on the left, it's called TL Space. It's a very expensive plugin. It's like a highly sophisticated reverb unit. Usually the reverbs you get are like digitally created, but this one actually maps the time, like they'll go into a space like the Albert Hall and fire out an audio signal and see how long it takes to come back. So basically you can literally 100% create the spaces that the reverbs are like recorded in. Down the bottom here you've got a compressor. This is essential for like music recording because without it you'd never have anything that sounded clean. And for vocal work on sitcoms and things like this, like I'm doing, it just adds another depth to it. And you know, if anyone is a budding musician and learns Pro Tools, then they can do their own album and things like that. I mean, it's excellent. It's just a fantastic program, and to have this equipment at our fingertips is mind-blowing.
Okay, so now we're in the talk studio. All 3 of the radio control rooms are all linked here by these soundproof windows, so you can see into the talk studio and have operation outside. They all work individually and they can all be linked to this room. So if you wanted an interview situation, you can just bring people in here. We have up to 4 mics in here. So if you want a debate or discussion and you wanted to control it from another desk, so you'll have someone like these guys here on the other side of the window, and they'll be able to hear it all in here, and you can get talk back between the 2.
I would say that the media centre has enabled me to do a lot of things that I think at a different university I wouldn't have been able to do. Like, they are an incredibly valuable tool at this university.
Well, I think sound wherever you go is underrated and usually secondary to the visual. But I think what happens at University College Falmouth, especially if you get an option to choose what you want to do, and then they back you to the hilt. So I know Russell, our head lecturer, is very pleased to help anyone that wants to do sound and specialise in sound. And you know, they'll push you forward, and we've had lectures from excellent sound technicians that still work in the industry. So I mean, the opportunity is there to make something great, and I hope to follow a career after my graduation in a couple of weeks in sound design. So definitely it's led me somewhere brilliant, and hopefully will take me somewhere better in the future.